The origins of this show are from a writing workshop that I have luckily been able to lead for about a year and a half here at the YWCA through sheworxx. We sit at the table, take pen in hand, paper in front, and we just go fast with the writing. And in that great group, every woman has created an amazing piece of work, or more. And one day, Anjali said, hey, let's put on a show. Let's do this, let's make a show out of these. And we all went, okay. And some of the women jumped in quickly and said, yes, yes, yes. And some of us said, well, I'll do some other things. And they were all great. And those of us who stood aside, we left a shoulder, we shared a shoulder, and we gave strength to them. Now, here we go into this great show, and these women, they give a lot of strength to everybody.
I'm sorry, so sorry.
Wait, stop. Have you noticed that women seem to apologize for the silliest things for no reason whatsoever? We do not have to apologize for who we are. They handed me buckets of words and blankets of verse.
Speak up, speak out, speak up, speak out, speak up, speak out.
One day, I read my poetry out loud. My voice was fearless, full of mothers and grandmothers, sisters, aunts, and daughters, and all those women behind me, waiting for a voice, wept for joy.
They dressed themselves in feathers and furs and beat drums. They soaked themselves in hot springs and fitted the mountains with paths and stepping stones. They ate fruit and knew the flowers. They painted the mandala for the universe in the sand and echoed it into each other. Around the planet they created airstrips and signals so that their kinsmen could find them. As they waited, they built fires and pyramids, and when there were no more to come, they danced with the monkeys. Thus the human race came to be.
Like, wow, aren't there a lot of these who come into the store? You know, when you want to yell, not me, but you can't. Like today, there was this old man who came to buy a shirt for his wife. He looked like he was 100 years old and smelled rancid, sour, putrid. And like, you know, what can I do about it? It was my turn to take the customer. Can I help you? I said. You have a nice smile, he said. I get that a lot because, well, it's true. I need to buy a shirt for my wife. What's her favorite color? I asked. And like he says, really too loudly, you know, like old people do a lot. What? Her favorite color! I shout, and like he says, I don't know. I pull something off the nurse rack. How about this? I ask, and then, as if I'm talking to a 2-year-old, do we like this in blue? Do you think she'd like it? It really doesn't matter. You pick. I want to shout, so have you always been so blasé? You want to buy a gift for your wife and you want me to pick it out? I hold up the blue one. That's fine, he says. I want to say, have you thought about taking a bath now and then? Maybe get a haircut and some new batteries for those hearing aids? But I stop myself because management expects us to stay all professional and not be, you know, friendly with the customers. More or less insulting. And then you know what he does? He cries. Big old tears roll down his cheeks and his nose starts to run. I grab a tissue from over at the register. He sits down and then he says, she's dead. I need the shirt to take to the mortuary. I brought her tan suit, but I forgot a shirt. I stand there. Like, what do you say to this? He continues, I haven't slept, I can't eat, I don't know what to do without her. 62 years. I know I have to bite the bullet and don't know if I can. He pulls a credit card out of his wallet and hands it to me. I take the card and the blouse to the register and tell Terry to hurry. I take the package and the card back to him. He hasn't moved. It's like a statue. Set the package down on a chair and sit down with him. You hand me your wallet, put your card away. He does. Tuck the card in and hand the wallet back to him. We sit. His head faces the floor. We sit. He looks up at me and says, "You have a nice smile."
You have to apologize, she said, and then.
In the little house on a quiet street, long after midnight, came his unworldly bark. He was a phantom of the opera. Even now, we speak his name tentatively and in a whisper. Well, after a while, the pinkies got to be too much, and so I built a tender trap, and I caught him, and we gave him to a friend with a feed store. He was a beautiful creature, all pink and green, but churlish, not like your pandas or iguanas. I wonder what happened if the cockroaches went back to that little house. I have not.
Quiero hoy vivir solamente en un robo con mi libro favorito. Mi taza de manzanilla con un poco sabor de hierbabuena. Mi gato y mi gatito Kitty. Eso no es posible. Tengo que mantener más realidad. Pero no encuentro puertas que se me abran. Mi vida ha sido como una hoja de papel. Muchas filas y columnas llenas de mi historia. Basta. No puedo comprender tanto cambio. Lo que voy a hacer es tomar toditito en cuenta. Sean realidades del día, fantasías. Quiero escribir todo. Porque todo me va a salvar.
I am that I am. I am Sam, son. I am wireless. I am woman. I am man. Thank you for doing your role. I am invisible. Thank you, Anne Rand. I am who I am. I am all that I have been. A dancer always, Sufi name, Devi, meaning angel who dances with God. I am a performer who studied ballet with Merce Cunningham and modern dance with George Balanchine in New York City, 1968. At 19, a model for L'Oreal out of Chicago. An actress for Universal Studio, filming the Oregon Trail around Flagstaff in 1977. A bride twice round. A first-time cougar, spending 16 years with a guy 7 years younger than me. Most recently, experiencing a decade of blind bliss with one 23 years younger than me. I'm a fisherwoman. Having had my photo taken with a prize catfish wrapped halfway around my torso and featured on the cover of Arizona Sports Man's Magazine, I am a survivor of cancer and other forms of invasive energies that cause dis-ease. I'm feeling good at the moment because my emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual bandages have finally fallen off.
Run, artists, run, falling into deep snow. Somehow undressed, unraveling, and vulnerable. We want you to see you be whole, for truly anything absent is simply something misplaced. It seems foolish to go back through the old words, the library of paints, the chorus, facets, sculptures, textures, features of what has been known, known still, and yet. Once, when a soft, handmade net with wide spaces was presented, draped and hung over each of us, like an invitation to imagination. We'd sat in a chair as part of that theater piece, while you kept talking and moving. Next, you reached through that net, first to blindfold, then to bind our hands, Erupting, we bristled up, fired out, and stumbled down amid the distant drifts. Pieces of something dangling, straying or pulling us backwards. But no matter. And no matter how cold or frozen the open air feels, warm, hard run and knee deep, but free of your strange entanglements, the well-heeled assumptions, lack of curiosity, punitive manipulations. Together once, we were both inside a taut conspiracy of spirits, holding on to a single thread, to rise up, run to higher ground, and howl at the top of our lungs.
I could say anything. I could tell him exactly what I wanted without any fear of anything. I could tell him my honest truth.
I know, and I could tell her anything. It got to the point we didn't even have to speak. It was like she could read my mind.
Oh, I know what you mean. And before he ever made any suggestions, he'd always ask me if I wanted to know what he was thinking.
Oh, so considerate. She never interrupted.
Oh, neither did he. It was like he anticipated my every need. So unusual. So irreplaceable. I don't even know where to go to look anymore.
Me either.
You know, when they leave you, they need to leave you with options for moving on.
Well, this is where we need to put some energy into cloning.
I wonder if he will come back like he promised.
How long did he say this time?
Oh, a month. 6 weeks at the longest.
And you believe him?
Well, I want to. So, what's her story?
Oh, you know, more of the same, with the spin on needed an extra month or so to take care of a sick mother. First I heard of a mother, or sick. But I so want to trust her, to believe her. It's so important at this stage in our life.
Oh, amen to that, sister.
And if we do trust them, we put off changing anything about ourselves, our homes, our life, and then we believe that they'll come back.
But what if I have a need?
Well, put a Band-Aid on it and just lean into patience.
It shouldn't be this difficult to hold on to a relationship.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be. You know, we just need to choose to learn new things, take risks, and use the tools that we only keep in our drawer. That way, if we knew more, our need would be lessened, and they would feel freer too.
Oh, the last time I tried some new things, he told me he charges for that.
And I bet you'll pay it.
Oh, he can charge me for that. He can be late for our time together. I will do anything to hold on to my handyman.
Shortly before midday, she starts feeling uneasy. The sky is calm enough, the sun warm on her skin, the vast prairie as peaceful as ever.
Why on earth had she not put on the harness this morning so she could hook her leash into the rail system now?
There, she finally spots one of the old buildings in the distance and immediately starts racing towards it. The fear of the storm and the anxiety to reach that shelter do not allow her to realize that she's actually running free, unharnessed, not tethered. All she can think about is if she will be able to reach safety in time. After what seems to be an eternity, she finally slips into the shelter, rests against the old cement wall, waiting for her heartbeat to calm down. And then she does not want to leave anymore, not without her harness, which of course wouldn't do her any good as she hasn't even seen a single rail anywhere close. Why, oh why, did she mindlessly roam off so far? And she's sure that by now, sunset must be approaching, which means her husband will be home any minute, expecting dinner to be on the table. She has to go home. And no one will ever come to her rescue out here anyways with no rails around. Stop thinking about the storm. It's been so long since it was here. No one can actually remember how long. So maybe she'll be safe. On the other hand, if it has been so long, doesn't that mean that the storm is overdue? Oh, it might arise any second now. She has to stop thinking. Just gather her courage and run. When she finally reaches the village, she's drenched in sweat, pumping adrenaline, barely able to get to her house, tumble inside, close the door, and latch the storm lock. Safe. Tears of relief stream down her cheeks, while the fear slowly subsides. No. No. Never, ever again will she veer off the time-honored traditions. If that storm had come today, it would have taken her. No. Never, ever again will she leave the house without her harness. Never. And she never did. And neither did her children or their children. And while the traditions lived on, passed down by fear from generation to generation, the storm never came.
Like a parrot, I am on the lookout for talismans. A bit of broken glass that reflects the light, the cascade of bubbles in the water like diamonds, a shooting star. Pick up the right stone and rub it, and treasure will come from the sky. Make good luck. Be good luck. Games are like dialogues with God. Winning is most definitely an example of God's love, but losing may be as well, for it encourages us to take chances, to find a new direction. What direction? What is next? Direction or distraction? Is there a next or only a nearest? a beauty. They called you thrice obeying woman, to father, to husband, to son, and yet you passed your life-loving woman spirit on to your daughters, one of whom was Papa. The patriarchs would call you dutiful wife and beat you if you did not follow 3 steps behind. And yet, when you were little, you unbound your own feet. And when you were mothering, you would not bind your daughter's feet. You passed your life-loving woman spirit on to your daughters, one of whom was Mama. The war of men sent you away from your family, away from your home in China. And yet, with their certificate, Doctor of Dentistry, you bravely took the attitude of the many Guangdongyan who went before you to Gamsan. You passed your life-loving woman spirit on, and with dignity raised your daughters, one of whom is myself, Lola Leizhang. I was birthed among hostile minds. The man wanted my mother to have my tongue cut. Another man touched my 3-year-old body in the wrong places. And yet, I am the self-defined Songji. I honor the life-loving woman spirit of my ancestresses with each dignified, big-footed step I take. Come, celebrate and dance with me.
Maybe you will be self-luminous, lighting past you walk with self-confident moonlight, beaming success through rivers, trailing through your veins like wisps of smoke. Maybe you will find this light in dark caverns, depths of undergrown moss, and intricate spiderwebs of thought growing in your mind. Maybe you will use these thoughts to create something beautiful, blossoming in that moonlight, peeking through cracks of cement, yearning to be free of man-made restraints. Maybe from this joy and understanding, you are ready to embrace the earth's cold visage in shadows of night, where, though darkness pervades and concrete jungles threaten to break your soul, you rise above them and walk down a path of moonlight. And maybe, just maybe, then you will be self-luminous.
Away,
Brown